Hello Internet, we are back for part 2 of my DIY floating shelf build. We left off after drilling out the shelf, and now we're going to get to work on the bracket. I cut some 1/2-inch round tube that I'll insert into the shelf holes. I'm using a benchmark abrasive stripping wheel to polish the tip up for insertion, and at first I tried chasing it around the table, then I remembered I knew a better way. This isn't exactly OSHA approved, but I do have my safety gloves and face shield on.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
My website is now up at michaelroachwv.com, and hit that like or subscribe button for good luck tomorrow. The round tube was fitting just a little too tight, so I broke out a silver and Deming bit and drilled them out to 9/16. I initially planned on using a friction fit, but I decided it would be a lot easier to just add a screw from the bottom. I ran into a bit of a snag with marking the round tube locations on the flat bar. Because I want the shelf to sit flat against the flat bar, I won't be able to do a fillet weld, that is, unless I feel like cutting out a relief in the shelf. Instead, I decided to drill out the flat bar and weld it from the back or wall side of the bracket. To mark holes like these, I would usually just put the pins in and give them a love tap. But I had already drilled the holes too deep before I got to this point, so I decided to tap temporary threads and use my makeshift transfer screws. You can buy transfer screws that have a hex shaft for easy removal, but so far they're still sitting in my Amazon cart. These are my DIY version I made using my cordless drill and a disc sander. This lets me find the center of the hole, and I'll be using it to line up the mag drill. I removed the round tube from the shelf and center punched the transferred marks. I pulled out the mag drill because it will drill a beautiful, round, 1/2-inch hole. I'm using an annular cutter in the Vevor magnetic drill press. I've got videos showing how I made the mag drill stand, and I'll link them up in the description. An annular cutter is basically a cross between a hole saw and an end mill. It cuts the perimeter of a hole like a hole saw, but with teeth that are similar to an end mill. I'm no machinist, but that's the easiest way I've found to explain this tool to people. As the cutter drills into the metal, it depresses a pin with a spring behind it. At the end of the hole, the spring pushes the slug, or inside of the hole, out. In this scenario, I'm just using tap magic and manually lubricating the annular cutter. The pin allows coolant to run from a tank to the cutter. When the pin is depressed, coolant can flow. When the pin is at rest, it plugs the line so fluid doesn't continue leaking out. Here I am drilling the second 1/2-inch hole. It's just like the first one, but the whole video clip is sped up. Sorry, we need more watch time. We're trying to get monetized, and hopefully one day we'll get a... I cleaned up the holes with my angle grinder, and now, hopefully, everything is starting to make sense. That's it for part 2. I was recently inspired by a comment on part 1 of the floating shelf build, so I decided to make this a 3-part series. That's not really accurate. It's just my excuse for editing way too much and putting way too much time into the videos. And oh, hey guys, I'll catch you in the next one.